Hello students, I am Suprita, lecturer in statistics, Soundarya PU College. In this video, I will be explaining you the first chapter of your syllabus, Vital Statistics. This concept is actually not new to all of us. You have gone through vital statistics many a times in your life. For example, you know about census in India, right? It occurs once in 10 years, and you know what are the procedures of census, and also you will be knowing registration of marriage, registration of birth, registration of death, and so on. And also recently, I'm sure all of you are going through few websites in order to get the details regarding patients of COVID-19, like how many are affected, how many are cured, how many are died due to that. So that is also vital statistics. So vital statistics is a concept studied under demography. Then what is demography? Demography is the study of human population. Then what is vital statistics? Vital statistics is recording of vital events in human life. What are the vital events that we studied in human life are birth, marriage, divorce, accidents, sickness, death. Why do we have to record all of this? We know that the growth of any country is wholly depending on the population. That is why it is very essential to know the data about the population of that country. So B. Benjamin has given a convincing definition for vital statistics. It is, according to Benjamin, vital statistics are conventionally numerical record of marriage, birth, sickness, death, by which health and growth of the population may be studied. Now, how to obtain these vital statistics or how to record these vital statistics? For that, we have two methods. One is registration method, another one is census enumeration method. I hope both these methods are not new to us. It is a very regular method. Let me explain the first method, registration method. In this method, all the vital events are recorded continuously, and the responsibility of recording these events belongs to the government authorities like Gram Panchayat, Corporation Office, municipality, etc. This is a very continuous process that happens day to day. Example, this is a birth certificate. In case of birth registration, the name of the baby, sex of the baby, parents' name, date of birth, nationality. So these kinds of details are registered and also mentioned in the certificate. This is a sample of death certificate. In case of death registration, name of the person, the date he died, address during the death, spouse or parent's name. So these kinds of details will be registered and also will be mentioned in the certificate. The second method is census enumeration method. So I hope you know what is census. So census in India is done once in every 10 years. So in this process, the details like name of a person, age, qualification, job, then how many school going children are there, how many are literates, how many are illiterates. So such details are recorded. And in India, census organization is responsible for this conducting census. You can go through their website in order to know the data regarding the census, and recently in the year 2011, that is the most recent one of course, so you can get the details of that census in the website of Census Organization of India. Now if we have to compare these two methods, which is more accurate or more reliable? That is registration method, because registration method is a continuous process, whereas census will be done once in 10 years. Many things may change in the span of 10 years. That is why registration method is more reliable than census enumeration. But registration method will be successful only if the registration of birth, marriage, death, they are made compulsory. Only if it is successful, if it is made compulsory. Now suppose if we have to know the population in any time t, because we have the population of 2011. Suppose if I have to calculate the population of any year which is in between, like 2015 or 2016, then we can measure that population using the formula. This is a mathematical formula, which is PT is equal to P naught plus B minus D plus I minus E. Here PT represents population in the time T. Here T could be any year or any month. Then P naught is population of previous time T. That is, if we are calculating the population of 2015, then 2014 population will be P naught. Then B and D represents birth and deaths occurred in the time T respectively. Then I represents immigrants and E represents emigrant in the time T. Immigrant means if the people move from other place to here, we will call it as immigration. So if the people move from here to other place, we will call that as emigration. So this is a formula to calculate population of time t. We shall solve one problem using this measurement of population. The problem is the population of locality at the end of 2015 was 15 lakh. There were 7,000 births and 5,000 deaths in 2016. The number of immigrants and emigrants were 10,000 and 6,000 respectively. Estimate the population at the end of 2016. So here in the 2015 there are 15 lakh population, 7,000 births occurred and 5,000 deaths. Then immigrants were 10,000 and emigrants were 6,000. Now we have to find the population at the end of the year 2016. For this we have to use the mathematical formula of population. So here the formula I have written, and also I have written the data. We have to find out the population of 2016. Then we have population of previous year, which is 15 lakh. Then we have birth 7,000, deaths 5,000, immigrants 10,000, emigrants 6,000. Now we shall substitute all these values in the formula of measurement. P naught, which is 15 lakh, then birth 7,000 minus deaths 5,000 plus immigrants 10,000 minus emigrants 6,000. Now I will write this 15 lakhs as it is. Then birth minus death, that is 7,000 minus 5,000 is 2,000, plus immigrants minus emigrants, that is 10,000 minus 6,000 is 4,000. Now we have to add all these values, that is 15 lakh 6,000. So this is the population at the end of the year 2016. In this chapter, you will be mainly studying only two vital events of human life, that is birth and death. So first we should discuss about the birth. In order to discuss about the birth, you need to know few basic terms. First one is fertility. So what is fertility? Fertility refers to the birth occurring to women of childbearing age. The childbearing age refers to age of females between 15 and 49 years, and it is also called as germination period. So basically fertility means if a woman would be able to give birth, we will call that as fertility, and we have fixed the age of fertility also, that is between the age of 15 to 49, and this is known as germination period. Next term is fecundity. Fecundity refers to the capacity of a woman to bear children, or in other words, it is maximum fertility level that can be attained. Then what is this fecundity? If I have to explain this in a simple words, suppose if fecundity value is 2, that means a woman is having maximum children 2. If fecundity is 3, then the woman is having a maximum number of children of 3. So currently the fecundity of India is 1.9, which is approximated to 2. Now we need few measures for fertility, and we have 4 different measures of fertility: crude birth rate, general fertility rate, age specific fertility rate, and total fertility rate. All these are different in their own way. They are having few merits, also they are having few demerits. Let us discuss one by one. The first measure of fertility is crude birth rate. In short, we can call it as CBR. So CBR is the average number of live birth occurring to 1000 individuals in a year. That means if we consider just 1000 individuals, how many new births have occurred, that we will call it as CBR. We have a formula for that. CBR is equal to number of births in a year divided by average population in a year into 1000. All the values or formulas in this chapter are multiplied by 1000 because these values are not for the entire population, but this is just for 1000. Like we will take an average for every 1000 individuals. Then in short, we can write the CBR formula as B divided by P into 1000. B represents live birth and P represents population. These CBR having certain merits. The first merit is that the calculation and also the understanding of concept is very simple. Then we don't need more data to compute this. We just need live birth and the population of the locality. By using only these two data, we will be able to compute CBR. Then you should remember CBR is the only measure by which we can indicate rate of growth of population due to live birth. Like because of a birth, how population is growing, in what rate it is growing, that we can estimate only using CBR out of all the other measures that we have. So these are the merits. We also have few demerits for crude birth rate. The first one is that it ignores age and sex composition. Since it is of fertility, the population of women will have more impact than the population of men. But this measures ignores the sex and age, and it consider both the population of men and women for the computation. So this is its demerit. And also we can't compare birth rates. We can't compare birth rates using CBR of two different populations. So these are the demerits of CBR. Now we shall solve one problem on this CBR. The problem is compute CBR for the below data. The data is they have given age which is distributed into different age groups like 0 to 14, 15 to 19, 20 to 24 and so on. Then they have given male population for these different age groups. Also they have given female population according to the age group, and then they have given live births. You can see the live birth for the age group 0 to 14 years is 0 because that is not the germination period, or that is not the fertility age. That is why for 0 to 14 live birth is 0, and also for the age 50 and above live birth is 0. That is also because 50 and above year is out of the germination period. Now we shall solve this problem. I have written the data here. The formula of CBR is B by P into 1000. Now let us find out the total of male population, which is 67,476, and total of female population, which is 64,060, and total live births 1,868. Now for the calculation of CBR, we need B, that is total live births, which is 1,868 divided by P. P represents total population. For the total population, we need to consider the population of both male as well as female. We have to add these two values. So after adding these two values, we will get 1,31,536 into 1000. Now we have to divide these two and multiply by 1000. By that we will get the value of CBR. So after dividing this and multiplying by 1000, we will get 14.12. In this we have to write per 1000. So the CBR value is 14.12 per 1000. That means for every 1000 individuals there are 14 newborn babies are there. So this represents the growth of that particular population given in the data. The next measure of fertility is general fertility rate. In short, we can call it as GFR. We had few demerits for the CBR. In order to overcome from that demerits, we have other measure of fertility, which is GFR. So what is GFR? GFR is the average number of live birth occurring to women of childbearing age. So here childbearing age refers to the women between the age 15 to 49 years, which is also called as germination period. Then what is GFR? GFR is, here we have considered only the female population between the age 15 to 49, and we have ignored male population and also the population of women below the age of 15 and above the age of 49. The formula of GFR is number of live births during a year divided by total number of women population of childbearing age into 1000. In short, we can write this formula as B divided by summation 15 to 49 FP into 1000. B represents total total live birth, then the summation FP 15 to 49 represents female population between the age 15 to 49 should be multiplied by 1000. We have few merits for this GFR. It is very simple and easy to understand. And then most importantly, here sex is given importance. That means we have considered only female population, and not only that, we have considered female between the age of 15 to 49. Like we have given importance to age to certain extent. So these are the merits of GFR. Then it also has few demerits. Firstly, we can't use this for the comparison of birth rate or fertility rate between two population, because here we will be calculating it for the different age groups. If the nature of that population will not be same, then we can't use it for the comparison purpose. And also, I told you only CBR is used to know the rate of growth. So that is why this GFR we cannot use it in order to know the rate of growth. Now we shall discuss one problem on GFR. I have taken the same problem in which I solved CBR. So you can see the data is same. Now we shall solve this problem. The formula is GFR is equal to B divided by summation FP 15 to 49 into 1000. So here B represents total live birth, which is 1868. Divided by the summation FP represents female population between the age group of 15 to 49. So firstly we should consider only female population, and also in female population we need to consider age between 15 to 49. So therefore only this population is considered. So the total of these 5 values are 36,320 into 1000. So here we have ignored the population of female above the age of 50 and the population of female below the age of 15. Now after dividing these two values and multiplying by 1000, we will get 51.432 per 1000. So this is a value of GFR. That means for every 1000 women of age 15 to 49, there are 51.43 births occurred. The next measure of fertility is age specific fertility rate. In GFR, we will consider age only to certain extent. In order to avoid that demerit, we have age specific fertility rate. Why we have to consider specific age? Because the fertility level between the different age group will vary. Like example, the fertility in the age 23 will be more than that of the age of a woman 45 years. So that is why there is a necessity of calculating this fertility rate at the specific age. So what is this ASFR? ASFR is the average number of live birth occurring to 1000 women of specific age. So here specific age means like if we are taking the age of 25, then the average number of birth occurring to women of the age 25. Also we can calculate this ASFR for the age groups of 5 years, and that we'll call it as quinquennial ASFR. Like the age group of 15 to 19 years, here width is 5 years, and we can calculate ASFR of these age between 15 to 19. We have a formula for ASFR, that is number of live birth in a specified age group in a year divided by total number of females in that particular age group in a year into 1000. So we should consider live birth occurred in that specific age to the female population of the same specific age and should be multiplied by 1000. We have few merits for this age specific fertility rate. It is very simple and easy to understand, and we'll use this ASFR in order to compute the next measure, that is total fertility rate. These values are used in the computation of TFR, that is total fertility rate. And also we can compare the fertility level between the age group. Like I give an example of fertility between the age of 23 and 45. Yeah, like that we can use it in order to compare the fertility level of different age groups in the same population. Then it consider both age as well as sex. It gives importance to both of them during the computation. So these are the merits of ASFR. Then we have demerits of them. We can't use it for the comparison of fertility of different population. Like we can use it for the comparison between the population, but we can't use it in order to compare the two different population. And also it doesn't indicate rate of growth of population of any locality. So these are the demerits of age specific fertility rate. The next one is total fertility rate. This total fertility rate is actually the total annual ASFR only. Like what I explained about ASFR, no. Like here we have to find out ASFR of each age from 15 to 49, like ASFR of 15 years, 16 years, 17 and so on up to 49 years, and that should be totaled. That will give you total fertility rate. So ASFR is total annual age specific fertility rate. And also in case of quinquennial ASFR, the formula is slightly changed. We have a width of 5 years. No, that is known as quinquennial ASFR. So if we have to find out TFR for the quinquennial ASFR, the formula is TFR is equal to 5 into summation quinquennial ASFR. So this is the formula of TFR. Then we have merits and demerits for this total fertility rate. The merits are, it is used for the comparing of fertility of two different population. If you remember, in the previous measures we could not be able to compare the fertility rate between two populations, but using TFR we can actually do that. Like we can compare the fertility level or fertility rate between two different population, and it gives weightage to age composition. Since we'll make quinquennial, or even we can divide them into group of 10, like 15 to 24 years, like that we can divide them into age groups. So it is giving weightage to age composition, and also it considers only female population of childbearing age. So these are the merits of TFR. It also has few demerits. They are, it doesn't indicate rate of growth of population. I already told you only CBR can be used for the measurement of rate of growth of population, because there we have considered all the population, but here only female population of childbearing is considered. Therefore we can't use this to indicate rate of growth of population. And the other one is, in the calculation of all these value and also mainly TFR, we have made an assumption that all women survive throughout the childbearing age. That we'll assume that if the woman once entered to the age of 15, she is going to survive throughout the childbearing age. That is, she is going to survive from the age of 15 to 49 years, which is not true in everyone's case practically. But here we have made an assumption that every woman will survive. Now we shall solve problems on ASFR and TFR. The problem is compute ASFR and TFR. They have given age. You can see the age is distributed into the group of 5 years. So it is a quinquennial problem. The age is distributed as 15 to 49, 20 to 24, 25 to 29 and so on up to 45 to 49. So here they have given only the female population of childbearing age, which we need in order to compute ASFR and TFR. Also they have given live birth for each of these age group. Now we shall solve this. The formula of ASFR is Bx divided by Fx into 1000. Here Bx represents live birth at the specific age x and Fx represents female population at specific age x into 1000. As I already told you, this is a quinquennial problem. Therefore, the specific age will be there in the groups of width 5. Let us calculate ASFR for the first age group 15 to 19. Live birth in the age of 15 to 19 is 500 and the female population in this age group is 10,000. Now in order to find out ASFR, we have to divide these two and multiply by 1000. That is 500 by 10,000 into 1000. After dividing 500 by 10,000 and multiplying by 1000, we will get 50. So this is 50 per 1000. That means for every 1000 women between the age 15 to 19, there is 50 new birth occurring. So the first value of ASFR is 50. Similarly, we have to do for all the other age groups. Now for 20 to 24, live birth is 900 and population is 15,000. So 900 by 15,000 into 1000 is 60. Then for the next age group 25 to 29, live births are 1400 and the population is 14,000. So we have to divide these two and multiply by 1000, we will get 100. Then 1170 divided by 13,000, 90. Next one 450 by 9,000 into 1000, which is 50. Then 120 by 6,000 into 1000, 20. Then 30 by 3,000 into 1000 is 10. So now we have ASFR of all these age groups. So this is quinquennial ASFR and the total of these AFR is 380. Now after the computation of ASFR, we have to find out TFR. Since it is quinquennial TFR, the formula is 5 into summation ASFR. We need to multiply 5 to the total of ASFR. The total of ASFR is 380. So 5 into 380 is 900. This is 1900 per 1000. That means for every 1000 women of childbearing age, 1900 new babies are born. If we have to take this for per woman, we need to divide this by 100, by 1000, sorry. By dividing this by 1000, we will get 1.9, which is rounded off to 2. That means on an average, each woman of these population are having 2 children. That is, I'll show the calculations here. TFR is equal to 1900 by 1000, that is equal to 1.9 per woman. So it is approximated to 2. That means on an average, each woman of this population is having 2 children.